Rand here, and I've got a second of the two Randy Lee Beasley films that I was going to review this week. Don't have a heart attack, it's the second final cut, and there should be some more coming. Sorry again for the sparsity of these, but at least I hope you've been enjoying the spoiler rooms and that Lonely Trooper episode, which another one's coming up soon. Now, on to today's review, which is a short film, so it's going to be a short review, and it's a review of The Dead Harvest, brought to us by Randy Lee Beasley, who directed it, acted in it, and co-wrote it with Rob Romero, who also stars in this, as the head of a family. He's the dad of the family, and the family gets in a minivan and goes out to celebrate a birthday of one of the family members at Grandma's house in the country. Well, the car breaks down in the country, and at the same time a zombie apocalypse occurs, and we see how this family tries to survive the zombie apocalypse as they try to make it to Grandma's house. One of the family members is in the army, played by Randy Lee Beasley, and we see how he fights his way through the zombie horde to try to get to this family to help protect them from this undead menace. Randy Lee Beasley has been very, very busy bee in the last year or two, producing quite a bit of projects in here. Now, sometimes when you get that many projects, things get a little bit rough, and I will say in this, the script in here at times was really solid, and then at other times it felt a little rough. I think it was just like in Mental State, a film of his we reviewed earlier. It's the scenes where it was kind of improv and it felt like it was winging it. Those parts felt a little bit rougher than the parts that you can tell were scripted and were planned all along. Some of the dialogue in here felt very natural and very fun, and then other times it felt like they were going off script, and you could kind of tell, and it kind of took me out of the film a little bit. So it was kind of up and down as far as the script and the dialogue goes. Now, the performances in here were decent for what it is for a micro-budget film. The chemistry among the family members felt really good, but then again it should, because Rob Romero did have a couple of his family members playing his movie family, so that always helps. So I liked the chemistry. They felt like a family unit, the way they kind of bickered in that and the way the kids were. So that I like the chemistry amongst the family members. Now, you can tell Randy Lee Beasley and Rob Romero have worked together quite a bit. Not only does Beasley know how to direct Rob, but when they do get into scenes together, they tend to be the strongest scenes in the film. Especially in this one, there's a particular scene in the garage, which I liked the feeling of it. I liked how it was directed, and the dialogue there for the most part was handled really well. Now, the zombie makeup in here, it is a micro-budget film, but the zombie makeup, they look like zombies. You don't need to go too complicated with it, especially for a short film, and I thought they looked decent enough to get the idea across. Now, there is some CGI blood in here, being on a very limited budget, but it wasn't enough in here that it distracted me, and it served its purpose. There are a couple dark moments in here as well that I really liked, as well as a couple of surprise camera decisions, including one that involved a camera on the end of a gun. I didn't expect that at all, and I really liked that part. That was actually my favorite shot part, was the part with the end on the gun, because he actually handled that really well. In a lot of Hollywood films they've done that, it's been a little bit more shaky, but here it was very steady. You could tell what was going on, and it broke up the rest of the film, which had been shot a little bit more standard, okay? Now, the kids in here, that was a little bit rough, especially when you're dealing with kids who are also zombies. That part's a little rough because zombies really shouldn't be smiling. So, that took me out of it a little bit as well. As short micro-budget films go, it is not a horrible film by any means. I thought it was well put together. There are some really good original moments in here and good parts in here as well. There are some other parts, though, that did kind of take me out of it. I think as he goes along, I would like to see, maybe just a more solid script and maybe not so much off script. It doesn't seem like that's quite handled quite right yet, but it's getting there, and I like seeing the talent of Randy Lee Beasley develop, and it'll be interesting to see where he's at in a couple of years, because I think with all these projects that he's producing, he's getting better with his editing, directing, and just overall filmmaking. So in a couple of years, I think there'll be some really solid works of his coming out. So I look forward to seeing those and bringing those to you. And speaking of, thank you so much, everyone out there. We're gaining subscribers little by little. Please tell your friends and have your friends tell their friends. We're at 710, 713 subscribers now. Love to be at 1,000 by this time next year. I know it's a dream of have, and I can only do that with your support, and I'm only doing these reviews because of you guys out there. You keep me going, you keep me motivated. Thank you so much, each and every one of you. I appreciate it, and until next time, keep that ticket stub.